And hello there everyone, welcome! I am BogMod. We are playing more The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. Before we advance and do anything more, I want to kind of talk about something that's kind of been on my mind the last couple days. Class 7 is a very passive group of protagonists. I don't know. Yeah, let's head to the bridge for a moment, and I can kind of explain what I mean in a few more details. They're very reactionary is kind of the idea. So first of all, a lot of information about. Let's see, is it showing here? No, but you know how I could go in here and be like, "Hey, here's some information about other students." We didn't exactly go out and get that information. You know, the class 7, the main characters. They just sort of ran into it. It was given to them.
Where do you want to go?
At the very start of the game, right? It was they start off just like, oh, I gotta find my friends, right? It's very reactionary, and then it became. Vaguely speaking, we should take back Trista, and we should do something to stop the war. But aside from just gathering people, there was no concrete plan on how to achieve either one. We went to Nord, and there was stuff we could get involved with. Yay! Here in Emir, right? Again, stuff more just happened to us for a bit. They had no way to plan to get the courageous, right? Here in Roar, this was mostly all Angelica was up to planning stuff, and she called us up to get us involved. The battles in Guerrilla Fortress, right? Again, everyone was out walking around. Trying to get in contact with people who actually did know what was going on and could maybe give us suggestions. Mm-hmm. Stuff with Berehard. Again, reactionary. Because the Count burned Keldic to the ground. Twins Dragon Bridge. We got involved there because of Fiona. Right? It's all. They've had no real plan or direction. Just a vague goal and stumbled into stuff, leading them to this point. I mean, even like, hey, you need a better sword. Half of that's been like, hey, like Crow and them are telling you, you need a better weapon. Go get a better weapon. It's right. Like we had an entire game already. The first game, well, that was kind of their thing. You know, there were students. They were learning. I mean, Reen, for example, had no real purpose. He kind of went to Thors to find his purpose. He still doesn't really have one. They just want to stop the war without any real idea how. All right. Enough of that, though. Time to help out. Schmidt will throw a tantrum. I'm going to make sure they fix up the place. Once we're done, I'll call the Institute and invite him on board. Might help me out some more, right? Choosing to help George make his workshop, because then I started to advance. First question is here. I think I would just saved, so in case I forget, I can do that later. I am. Sure, thanks, Reen. So here, the work will be done in no time flat. Best looking workspace they could. George made contact with the Ruhr Institute of Technology. The fun time came to welcome Professor Schmidt on board the Courageous. Bah! Not quite up to my standards, but being that we're limited in our options inside the ship, this will have to do. Can't compare to the facilities back at the Institute, but you made the best with what you had, I suppose. Thanks, I guess. That is a very... that's his tantrum. That's very minute. So there it is. I expect you to obtain any Zimmerine ore at all, much less this much of it. Where exactly did you find it? Class 7 obtained some from overcoming some very challenging trials. Come on, it's what you asked for. You'll help us, right? That doesn't answer my question the slightest, I'll have you know. Well, the answer changes little. Man of my word, you did what was asked, and so I'll draft you the finest blueprints the world has ever seen. So a project like this is not without a series of trial and error. This is really crucial, George. Just don't get in the way of my work. Right. Anything you say. Well, he seems like a slightly rude, but perfectly fine person. So that's the famous Professor G. Schmidt. He's as much of a cranky old fart as everyone says he is. He and George seem to work really well together, though, don't they? If I recall, they were once master and student. He's got those dashing good looks, but his personality is a lot to be desired. So doesn't much to impress you, does it? See, working with Zimmerine ore is no doubt going to be a challenge. The way to use it to replicate the sharpness of Itachi. So with Professor Schmidt on board, I'm sure they'll manage. He's the finest engineer in the country, if nothing else. Yeah, we just have to keep out of their hair and let them do what they do best. Alright. Work on the Tachi began. So Class 7 would be ready for when the time came for the final battle with Crow came. And then they received an unexpected call. Oh, Claire. This is going to be at Trista, I bet.
Are you sure, Captain?
Given what we know about what they're planning, I assume they're going to be inviting us along to invade.
Yes, absolutely. Several days ago, the Alliance moved their line of defense around the capital westward, which means that the east side of the capital, and in particular the area around Trista, are much more exposed than before.
Wait, what? The east side of the capital? Like, they moved their line of defense west of the capital? It sounds like you're implying? That's weird.
That could totally work in our favor.
It could work in our favor. How convenient for us.
Lucky us.
Yes, it is lucky. Remember, that kind of goes back to what I just said. They didn't... This is not what's happening here in Trista. Isn't something they've orchestrated. It's a convenient turn of events.
Yeah. It sounds like we might finally be able to achieve what we set out to do.
He starts to do it with no plan.
We finally have a chance to wrestle the Academy from the Alliance's grasp.
For neutrality.
Guess the Alliance is so focused on trying to defend Heimdall, they don't have time to worry about Trista.
Yeah, defending Trista is the first step to defending Heimdall, though. The fourth has to go through Trista to get to Heimdall.
We couldn't have asked for a better chance than this.
I have some other news that may be of interest to you as well. The Noble Alliance forces are no longer the ones supervising Thors military academy.
Oh?
Instead, they've assigned that task to the upper class students, so the army can focus on defending the capital.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Why the upper class students?
Because they're nobles.
I imagine they were chosen so the Academy would technically still be under the control of the nobility.
Exactly, makes perfect sense.
I'm sure they're up to the task either way.
I don't. We're gonna crush them. I mean, like, literally, the army's gonna steamroll them.
Are we talking about all of the upper class students or just a select number of them?
The academy is being overseen by a group of students calling themselves the Order of the Lion. The group is centered around high-ranking nobles, and its commander is one of the sons of Marquis Higharms.
Patrick, I believe. I think it's Patrick Higharms.
Patrick T. Higharms.
I don't know what the T stands for, but it's Patrick.
Patrick?
Gasp! Who would have thought the arrogant nobles who hate the peasantry and stayed at the academy might still be in charge.
I'd heard that he was still at the academy, but just what is he doing?
Hating the peasants? Joining the villains?
And what's this Order of the Lion?
I know nobles love tradition, but that name sounds like something torn from a history textbook.
It does. I'll give him that one.
Other key members include the son and daughter of Count Florald, together with a butler and maid from the upper-class dormitory. To my knowledge, the principal and the other instructors remain imprisoned within the academy itself, however.
Ferris is taking part too?
If I had to wager a guess, the Alliance ordered them to. Not like they're in a position to refuse.
Yes?
That's a little worrying.
Principal Van Dyke is an honorary general of the army as well, so naturally, the army is concerned for his well-being. As such, we of the RMP are preparing to liberate Trista and the Academy from the nobility.
Yeah, good for you, Claire.
It will be carried out before the battle for Heimdall can begin, using our most elite units.
Makes sense. Got to take that over first. It's your primary stepping stone to clear the path to the capital.
Oh,
But that means...
Yes. Yes. There will be fighting in Trista, Emma. I don't think anyone will die, though. It's not that kind of game.
Would you consider postponing your operation for at least a few days?
What?
Reen,
Yeah. What are you up to, Reen?
Do you not think the RMP is up to the task?
Yeah, pretty sure you are, actually. I thought this call was to invite us.
I don't doubt for a moment that you are. But since the day we were entrusted with the Courageous, no, even before that, liberating the Academy has been our dream. I don't just mean Class 7's dream either. It's something that every single student gathered on this ship wants to be a part of. You could even say it's our duty.
Ah! You're putting in a civil war effort in jeopardy for your own selfish desires. Marine.
Whether someone else could handle it isn't the issue. It's what we've come this far for. We want to do it with our own hands.
Come on, Claire. Say no.
thank you, Reen.
No, Claire. Don't do it, Claire.
I feel the same way as Reen does. Thors was established by one of my ancestors, so I feel a connection to it in that sense.
What about the Imperial Army?
It feels only right that those who have an attachment to the Academy should come together to take it back.
She's absolutely right.
This sentimentality has no place in a civil war.
We've come all this way believing it would lead us back to the Academy. We can't just leave the last step of our journey to you.
You've been with us for like a week.
After all that's happened, I think we're the ones who should be fighting that Order of the Lion, don't you?
No. You can help.
yeah, you're right.
Yep, it's gotta be us. We've all put an enormous amount of effort into making it this far. It's only fair, right?
We wouldn't be setting a very good example as second years if we didn't see tasks we've taken on through to the end.
Well, what about the army? They have the task of, liberating the country from the coup launched by the noble faction. What about their example?
I want to go and save Uncle Makarov too!
Stop being selfish, Class 7.
That's a lot of yes votes right there.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's not a democracy.
I'm pleased to see we're all unanimous.
Yeah, I want to do this too, Claire.
Yeah, why did you call the town? Why didn't you just invite us?
Really, Milliam? You too?
I think I know where this is going.
So, Captain, please. Won't you leave taking back Trista and the Academy to us?
We realize we're asking a lot, but this is genuinely important to us.
When I finally see Dad again, I want to be able to look back and feel proud of all I've done.
Dad, I needlessly complicated the Civil War effort, all for my own selfish desires. I hope you're proud of me.
I was never raised to beg, but in this case, no price is too great.
I wasn't expecting to get quite so strong a reaction from you.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's almost like we went to different schools.
Milliam, you were there for like 2 months.
I've never felt quite the devotion and attachment to the academy all of you clearly possess. So it's a little strange for me to see how much each of you are willing to sacrifice, just so you can liberate Trista together. But strange in a good way.
It is very strange.
Is that a yes?
I hope not.
We'll wait 2 days.
Ah, Claire.
Trista will form a vital base in our operation to take Heimdall. It needs to be liberated as soon as possible.
Which is why they're going to wait for some children to do things.
I hope that will be enough time for you to achieve your dream of taking it back.
See, now there's a lot of little things they could have slightly altered here. If she just said, the military plans to strike in 2 days, you have until then. You know, that's one thing. Right? That gives Class 7 their opportunity without compromising, you know, the military in any way. Right? That'd be the sensible approach. But instead, no, the military will actually stop
Thank you,
this.
Captain.
If you weren't with the RMP already, you'd make a hell of an actress, you know. You put on quite a show for someone who was gonna say yes all along.
Now what makes you say that? Regardless, I will be praying for your success. I look forward to seeing you all again in Heimdall after this war is over.
Thank you.
Good luck to you too, Captain.
This is just, but it is an example of what I was kind of talking about, of them being so reactionary. They didn't find out they had an opportunity. They had no plan prior to this to act against Trista. I mean, it's one thing if they're like, we've had a plan in place, we can move the time scale ahead, or with this, our plan becomes ready, we don't need them other stuff. But no. No, they're just going to react. Carry out the mission on the same day of a prototype, Valmar's new touch was completed. Ooh, 3 days have passed. Ah, Christmas. It's almost the New Year, everyone.
The operation will begin today at 1200 hours. Make sure you've done everything you need to do before then.
As you already know, I won't be taking part in this one.
What?
This one's all you.
Why? I mean, you're a teacher there. Shouldn't you have some desire to take it back? Wasn't that what their whole speech was about?
My job as your teacher is to stay here and wish you luck. I know you can do it.
That is one of the stupidest. But I mean, it does in its way fit with what's going on, right? No one's going to get seriously hurt or killed in this attack. It's not a real risk, so, you know, why not? We don't need Sarah around for it.
Thank you.
We've still got some time until then, so it might be worth going around and making sure we've got all we need.
Yeah, we can't be too prepared. Not this time.
We can't be too prepared. That's why we'll have one of our best fighters take no part in the action.
Incidentally, how goes the development of Valamar's Tachi?
The prototype was finished last night. There's still some work left before it's completely finished. But personally, I'd say the progress we've made is nothing to scoff at.
Professor Schmidt's really something, isn't he? I guess, but he could lighten up a little. I went to go play down in his workshop and he was all super mad at me.
I know. It's like you were getting in the way of something actually important, Milliam.
Were you expecting to be welcomed with a hug and some candy?
How dare he get upset about that?
Anyway, by the sound of it, he's going to keep finding ways to improve it until the very last minute.
I think that's very nice of him.
I'm going to be swamped with helping him out, but I should still be able to tune your Arcus units if you guys need it.
We just might take you up on that, George.
Whatever ensures you're as ready as possible. So much is resting on this battle. I don't want us to go in with any regrets.
Right.
It's true. Because if you guys fail, the army will do it for you. And you know, that would be horrible, I guess. Ooh, I'm going to take part in the battle. Whether they're active party members or not. Okay. Use, talk to Toa, and just select operation. Alright. Alright. Sarah, why aren't you taking part in this? What have you been waiting for? Yes, that is a very accurate thing. They have been waiting. And waiting. Not doing, not acting, not planning. Just waiting. Not gonna be down. I'm not gonna be down fighting with you this time. We're just watching over you as your instructor. It's instances like this which make it hard to treat this civil war as this big dangerous thing. She's actually looking at this military action as just like, meh, it's a teaching opportunity. It's fine by me. Leverage everything we've taught us to take back the academy. I want you to watch us do it. And that's my star pupil. I know you won't disappoint. So hold your heads up high and go for it. Anyone fail, the fact is your instructor. I guarantee it. Let's see, it's time to what we've been working towards. In the loosest sense of the term, you have been working towards it since you were given the ship. 2 weeks ago? I should get like a proper... Ooh. In fact, I'm gonna take a little break here. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take a moment and look at the timeline for a second. So I'll see everybody in a bit.